because I'm going to teach this again. So yeah, we've got our... Then a couple normal ones. And then we get into our... I think a couple of them are... But a couple of... I think it's... He does the more familiar one, and then he goes... Anyway, then all the rest of it's all derivative of that until we get to the lead bit. Nothing new comes up. So there we are. And our quintessential one is our... There's one, we go... And we also go... The one did the same thing. It's just one click or two. We get to later, so we get... That's our quintessential one. And then later he goes... Chick a boom bam. So there's two. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. And you know, all of these third string notes, we got XX on the first two strings by means of thumb over top, pulls our hand away from the instrument. The exact thing we had to undo to be able to like bar. Anyway, so great. Then we get to the we get to our lead bit where he goes. Yeah, so whatever, man. We can totally see me.
Okay. Just want to make sure the guitar was in the video.
Alright. So yeah, it's bend, play, and then dampen, click, note. And if it sounds like I'm doing a drum thing or looks that way visually, that's the dampen, because we have to go. And if you want to, you know, if that's tripping you out at home, student, just go and remind yourself you know how to do that already. You know, going. Anyway, so. Yeah. There we go. And then we get. And that's. And then we'd often pull off there, but he doesn't. He goes. There we are. There's our last one. And then we get the really messed up bits where he goes. That's pretty easy on its own. It's the same thing, and we get our first pinky pin. And then he gets really out the frame, so I'd recommend you learn up to ear at about 3 minutes. And this is where he goes, this crazy thing. So it starts with, we're just going to make stereo instructions for this. I got my pinky and my ring in that same position they just were. This time, I'm going to bend both of them. As I bend up, I'm going to strike the first string. As I bend down, I'm going to strike the second string. And it sounds like, we do. And then we get this. Like that. Or, so now we do another thing where we go to a regular note. It sounds like it's just, but it's, bending that, like, non-scale tone to a scale tone, but we need to put our middle finger on top of it because he's going to go like that. So it's going to, excuse me, it might be easier with just your ring finger. There we go. So, yeah, totally. And then it goes, there's the hard part. And then he just goes, yeah. Yeah. So that's our hard part on the bottom line here. And he goes, or rather, so we get a full on, so there we are. That's what we were doing there. So it was like, so there we are.
Excellent.
Yeah, fuck it. I won't try to do the whole thing. That would be time consuming.